Good afternoon. I am very glad to welcome today Mr. Becca, Belgian High Representation of Space Policy, Mr. Mettens, the President of the Federal Belgian Science Policy, or BELSPO, Mr. Martine, Director General Research and Space at BELSPO, the invited speakers, Professor Brasseur and Professor Gérard, and all of you, colleagues from Belgium and abroad, and friends. Unfortunately, we also expected Mr. Suys for representing the Federal Secretary of State charged with science policy, but unfortunately, I see he's not there yet. So, maybe he shows up later. It is my great pleasure to welcome you at this academic session, which is the final event that we organized to celebrate our 50th anniversary. The Belgian Institute for Space Aeronomy was established by royal decree as an independent scientific institute exactly 50 years ago, on November 25, 1964, and it built on the aeronomy service that had developed in the preceding years at the Royal Meteorological Institute. Our first director was Professor Marcel Nicolet, born in 1912, and one of the founders of the discipline of aeronomy, a discipline that emerged in the years 1930 and beyond. The term aeronomy was suggested for the first time by Sidney Chapman in a letter to the editor of the journal Nature in 1946, and it was adopted officially in 1954 by the International Union of Geodesy and Geophysics. And today, aeronomy refers to the science of the atmosphere from the surface to the sun, including the atmospheres of planets and comets. Professor Guy Brasseur, who is our first speaker today, will tell you more about the history of aeronomy and the evolution of our institute in his presentation. And I cannot tell you for sure whether it is a coincidence or not, but it is quite remarkable that in that same year of 1964, after 4 years of preparation, the convention that created the European Space Research Organization, or ESRO, came into force. This convention was co-signed by Belgium. The first director of ESRIN was appointed also in 1964. And in 1973, at the European Space Conference meeting in Brussels, it was decided to create ESA, a thing which happened officially in 1975.
Yeah, it's an interesting...
So Belgium has been a member state of ESA from the very start. So our institute and ESA have part of their histories in common, and space has been and still is a major element in our research. The mission that was given to our institute in 1964 was updated in 2002, and I will read it for you after translation to English. The missions of the institute have as their major objectives the acquisition of scientific and technological expertise and the dissemination of information in the field of space aeronomy. They imply scientific research and the development of scientific services, as well as partnerships with industries. The same royal decree further states, to perform these tasks, it is essential to acquire knowledge based on data from spaceborne systems, rockets, balloons, and all complementary means. This knowledge concerns the physics and chemistry of the atmospheres of planets and comets and of the interplanetary space. It also concerns knowledge of the impact of the sun on the Earth's atmosphere, in particular in the context of global changes. This royal decree, and so our mission, is still in force today. So, this afternoon, we will take you on a trip through our history, showing how we fulfill our mission since 50 years. We will show you where we come from, where we are, and where we go, or at least where we want to go and where we can go if we get the necessary political and financial support. We recognize and we are thankful for all the support that we have received in all those past years from various organizations, including ESA and UMETSAT, CNES, the European Commission, the Fund for Scientific Research, FWO and FNRS, and many others. And in particular, we are thankful to the Belgian Federal State and the Belgian Science Policy for their continuous support. And therefore, I will immediately after the end of these words give the floor to Dr. Martine, Director General Research and Space at the Belgian Federal Science Policy Office. But before doing that, I should not forget to tell you that in the year of our 50th anniversary, we hope to get the attribution royal in our name, and so hopefully we will become the Royal Belgian Institute for Space, ironically. And so now it is with pleasure that I give the floor to Dr. Martine.